Yeah, hi everybody. I'm back again, and I told you guys last week that I do want to talk a lot about the inner child, and actually hoping for that this group from Trauma to Mission will be tired. I'm looking tired, right? I am. I didn't sleep well last night. So this will be a short video because I just want to make an entry to all the things which will follow and come in the next days and weeks and maybe even months. Probably months, because it's going to take probably some time, but that's okay. We have all the time in the world. The most important is that we do start at one point, that we do start, and everything else will follow. And we will get there, all of us, I'm pretty sure. So the goal for me is to help people to become a stronger version of themselves, a stronger you. And when I was the first time looking into my inner child, by the way, it's not burning in my house again, it's my diffuser. When I was in touch the first time with my inner child, it was through a meditation, and it was my very first meditation ever, and it was right away in a meditation to the inner child. And I do remember that day like no other day. I remember lots of days, but that day in particular, really, because I'm gonna go a little bit even more back. When I 18 months ago had this impulse that something really needs to change in my life, because I was probably like some of you, asking myself the questions, why is all of that happening to me? Why? What did I do? And luckily I know today that I am not entirely alone responsible for all the things which happened to me or which I went through, because I learned that our inner child, when we don't take care of it, or when we are not connected with it, that a lot of our problems, or like the roots of our problems, are coming from our childhood and are manifested and kind of like programs we run every day in any kind of situation, but they're not necessarily healthy. And so I had actually my best friend, my closest friend. I call her often my guardian angel, or my angel on earth. And she tried for a long time to tell me, maybe you should look into your inner child. And I was like, okay, sure. And I can tell you, I knew that she was right, but I wasn't ready to look at it, because when that happened, that she told me that, I was actually still in a relationship with my daughter's father, and things were not going so well, and so I was very busy with that. So I really didn't want to look at myself. But now I know if I would have had looked at myself much earlier, and I'm not saying that it's now a fault or I'm guilty that I didn't look at it, I just didn't know better. I probably would have been able, maybe not to avoid that we break up, but I would have definitely avoided a lot of other things I went through emotionally, and I would have understood things earlier, and it probably would have prevented me from a few things in life. But, you know, I mean, we all come here, we're all here to learn and to grow, and I mean, you know, this is life. We grow every day, and hopefully we do grow. And we make experience and we learn from it, and hopefully we do learn from it. And that's it. And I mean, whenever we're ready, we're ready to look at the deeper, how do you call it? Maybe demons, or yeah, the things, you know, to get a deeper understanding of why and how and where is it coming from, and to get some clarity for ourselves, and to connect the dots and to understand. So at one point I had enough courage to say, okay, I'm gonna look at my inner child, I'm gonna connect with my inner child. But you know, I was like crossing the fingers, and I was kind of scared what to expect, and I was really worried if what I will see might be something I don't want to know, because you know, I was thinking in a way like, if I look at my inner child, I might actually see that maybe I am really, it's all my fault, or a lot of things are my fault to what happened. But I can tell you already, and I want to, and I'm telling you that because I don't want you to be scared looking at your inner child and to be worried of what you might discover about yourself. Because since I really took the courage to connect with my inner child, from that day on, only good things are happening. I can't explain you why and how, but my inner child has a place where it lives. In my fantasy, in my mind, it has a home. I know what this home looks like. I can go there anytime and take care of it, and you know, and ask my inner child, what is it what you need right now? And I do that not as often as I wanted to, but I also don't need it anymore that often, because of course during the last, especially the last year, I have also learned a lot of other tools, so I don't need always now to go to my inner child, because I have advanced with a lot of things, like now I've learned tools, and I'm connected really much more entirely with myself, not only with my inner child, but also with my inner grown-up. I mean, my inner child is healthy and it's okay. There's still a few things where it's not okay, but I feel that immediately, and then I do go and look at it, and I'm connecting with my inner child. However, but now back to the short story about when I was ready to connect with my inner child the first time. I decided to do that through a meditation, because I was like, I'm gonna do meditation now, I'm gonna try this. And I chose, the first meditation was a guided meditation with your inner child, or to your inner child. And I remember that evening really well. I went to bed. I was sleeping in my son's room because it was already during the time when there was the breakup with my daughter's father, and I was, of course, not feeling good at all. I mean, that was a really difficult. It was a difficult phase. It was very sad. It was something I didn't want it to happen. In fact, I didn't even think. I mean, before the breakup, I was actually thinking we are going to be good together. We are like, everything will heal and we will last forever. And I really totally believed in that. And then there was the big surprise. Okay, breakup. I'm like, hey, how? Anyways, never mind. I don't want to go there today. So because I wasn't feeling so good, and I already knew that meditation is a way, which could help you to strengthen yourself, give yourself some confidence. Meditation is a really wonderful tool. And if you haven't tried it yet, when I started that, I did meditation for weeks, every morning one, every evening one. When I woke up, when I went to bed, that was the first and the last thing I did of my day. And I can tell you, it was giving me so much strength, and it was such a support. I didn't even need it to have like really my human friends around me, because I found step by step, tiny bits by tiny bits, I found more and more strength in myself. And that was a great experience, because I didn't depend on someone in order for me to manage whatever I was going through. So when I did choose finally the meditation, which looked somehow inviting to me, I went to YouTube. There's plenty of guided meditations on YouTube. I can tell you they're wonderful. Anyhow, so I finally chose one just by intuition. I said, oh, that picture looks nice, and and I clicked on it, and I was like, and the voice is also nice. So I prepared myself, I lay down, and closed my eyes. The room was dark, and put my headset on, and then I started listening to it. And this person, he couldn't even finish his second sentence, and it was a 25-minute long meditation. He couldn't even finish his second sentence, and I was crying. I started crying. I felt pain, emotional pain. I had the only way I can describe it, like, it was so much pain I felt, really emotional pain, but I felt it in my body, in every cell of my body, and the intensity of that pain, I can actually, it can only be this way, that because it was so painful, it must have been like 39 years of accumulated pain coming out in that 25 minutes. I have been crying like I've never ever cried in my life before. I couldn't stop crying. For 25 minutes I was crying. And luckily I did not stop the meditation, and I really cried through, and I listened to it through, and every sentence he said, it just was more and more painful. And I feel like I have cried out really 39 years of pain. And after that, because I live in Canada, and I mean, many of my friends, especially that friend, she lives in Germany, so there's a 6 hours difference of time zone. So I did the meditation late in the evening, so it was still in the middle of the night in Germany. And I called her, like the second the meditation was over, I called her and I was still crying. I mean, I'm not even sure she really understood all the things I said because I was sobbing, crying. It was unbelievable. And I called her because I was in a way, I was even upset that she made me go through something like this. But it was also at the same time a huge release, and I wanted to share that with her because I mean I just couldn't understand. I was like, I was thinking, oh, okay, you're gonna make a meditation, you're gonna feel just super awesome. I was not prepared for that I'm gonna be in pain. I mean, that was totally not what I was expecting. I was like expecting the opposite, and all the opposite it did follow after. But that was my very first meditation ever. And I promise I will never, ever forget that. Ever. And I am so grateful that I had the courage to do that. It was like the breakthrough. It was like I finally, it was really the breakthrough. And since then, yeah, my inner child became a home in my fantasy, in my heart. It is like my inner peace, my inner place of peace. When I go and visit it in my meditations, I don't do guided meditations anymore. Like when I do meditations, I am really just laying down and I'm connecting with whatever I need to connect with at that time, and I'm just letting my mind and my thoughts flow and just trying to listen to whatever my body tells me, what my emotions tell me. And like a smoke here, and I do find my answers, not always immediately, but more and more and more and more and more often. Yeah, and then over the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 months, I would say, I feel this need or I do see sense in all of the things which happened to me, and that all of that happened to me because it had to happen, so I know how it feels and I know what it's like, and so I will be able to help others. This is my purpose of existence. This is why I'm here. This is why I went through all of that. And the inner child is, of course, it's only one of the things and one of the tools and one of the ways and tools I've learned and I've learned about. But the inner child has a very special place in my life, and it's like my baby. It's like really, that's something I would, whenever someone comes to me and comes with a problem, I would always first think of like, work with your inner child. Definitely. It is really when you get to know your inner child and you will start to understand these programs in you, and where they come from, and how they impacted your life, and how they impact you, and caused all of the problems you are, or many of your problems, which you're currently facing in your life. It's so obvious to me, because when I started working with that, and I started looking into that, and I can tell you, I dig really deep, and I'm still not at the root of a few things, but it's like an onion, it's like you have all of these shells, and I'm taking off one skin by one skin, trying to get to the core, and to heal that also, and then poof, it's gone. Yeah, I'm also still in the middle of my process, but I thought, hey, why not taking some people's which want to, with me on that road, on that journey. And I am not a professional inner child therapist or something like that, but I do have, of course, my very own experience, and I am already helping other people with everything what I have learned, and I think I do have a gift, and I have a purpose, and I think, and I'm pretty sure I've found it. So all I need to do is now to do it and use it, and try to really help other people. And that's why I made this group, because I'll try something, and I mean, you can participate or not, and just take the parts which interest you the most. But I would really wish that that this becomes like a little bit like an interactive work group, where we do I don't want to say that you have to answer questions, because I'm gonna put like little exercises or questions out there, and I'm not telling you have to answer them in the comments or whatever, but of course, when you do see it as like a little work group, and you participate, and you do actually really work with these exercises and questions, or with the things I will just tell you and explain you, I am pretty sure that there will be a few things. So what I wanted to say is, like, if you do work actively in it, it's like it's really active, taking actions, and that's another thing. We have to really take actions, and we have to do the things. We have to keep going and keep doing. And even if we are, find ourselves like, okay, after a while, oh my God, that's not the way I wanted it to go, and you're like, back to square one, it's all right, because at least you learned, okay, that's not the way it works, so let's try another way. But I really think that working with the inner child is absolutely essential, especially for peoples which have had really huge traumatic experience in their life. And I don't want to even mention the list of all of it. Everybody has its own story and its own traumata, and you don't need to share anything detailed, and it's not even necessary to really share details. And and I don't think we should maybe become too detailed of our really deepest traumas, but you know, in a simple, light way, to look at some things, some easy things. But of course, you can also transfer that to, like, maybe the more personal and more deeper and more severe experiences you made in your life. And you do that on your own, or you can share it if you want and if you feel it is important, or it will actually help you to heal. I mean, that's perfectly fine too. So, yeah. So I talked a lot, again, as usually. And, sorry. So today I just wanted to tell you something about the inner child, because I believe that some people, they think it's only just one person, like the inner child. But it is, also from what I have learned, there is, the inner child is, or your inner world, I would maybe even call it, is divided into the shadow child and the sun child. But there's also your inner grown-up. And in the beginning, so for the next weeks, we will only look at the shadow child. Why? Because the shadow, to get to know your shadow child, and to meet with your shadow child. Oh my God, English is really difficult sometimes. Because it stands for all of our negative childhood impressions, which, over and over cause us frustration and being angry and mad and things like this, and which we develop certain programs which we're running most of the time unconsciously, and which are these are often then the causing us problems, or are the roots also for our problems. So the shadow child is like the first step I would like to look with you at, and to go through that and to learn about it. And I mean, even I will probably still learn something, which is wonderful, because I mean, like this, it's we support each other. It's not just me telling you something or asking questions, but because I will try to participate as much as I can, of course, in that too, because I have also other things to do. But I'll try, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, we're gonna take it easy, and we'll start, somewhere, and we'll see where it goes. We will go with the flow. That's the wonderful thing. I love to go with the flow. So this is the first thing, as we're gonna look at the shadow child. In the next step, we're gonna look at the inner grown-up, because the inner grown-up stands for reasonable thinking, clear mind, and like to take that's what it basically stands for. And we need our inner grown-up. We need to strengthen our inner grown-up, because the inner grown-up is just like in a family. The adult is responsible for the inner for the child, and protects the inner child, takes care of not of the inner child, of the child, takes care of the child, and things like this. And we need to, of course, look at our inner grown-up again and strengthen that part in us, so it can give a firm support, a firm hold to our shadow child. And last but not least, and that's really I mean, all parts are nice because they're important. And I don't want to skip any part and say, okay, let's go to the fun part first, because no, that's not how it works. If you want to get to the fun part, fortunately, you'll have to go through the bad part first, or like, it's like when you get the baby, right? You have to go through the pain first before you look in the beautiful face of your baby. And you have to go through labor first. This is it. And I'm okay with that. I'm not afraid of that pain anymore, because now every time I do feel angry, frustrated, or whatever, I'm like, way, new opportunity. There's still something which needs to be healed and looked at. And I'm already encouraged. I'm like, yes, I want to know. Where is it coming from? And I really hope that with me together, you will get to that kind of feeling too, and this excitement, and life becomes overall easier, and you will find yourself in a few months from now in a happier, better place. And you will get to the point, like, to be the creator of your life, and take control back, take responsibility back, be independent, happy. Yeah, just like what everybody wants, right? And so, like I said, and the last thing will be, we're gonna look at the sun child in us. And this stands for our for our healthy, strong, and happy parts in our personality. And we do have that one too. Hopefully, one day that's the one which is the bigger part in our life, and more present than the shadow child. But we have to look at our shadow child, because it is really hurt. It is really sad, that part in us, and we need to heal that part. And so like I said, so the sun child is the healthy, strong, and happy parts of our personality, and it allows us to have a clear vision of ourselves and of our future, and how to get there. So this is it for today. I hope that sounds all inviting and exciting to you. To me it is, because it is like kind of like something. I mean, I never thought that I would open and create a group and do want to talk, or do something like this, like a work group or something. And I've never done anything like this in my life. Well, okay, it's not true. I have been in school projects. I've been already leading projects and things like this. I was a school speaker, so it looks like I do have some good skills. And let's see if they are also useful for what I'm doing right now. But I'm also always open for how can I say, for critique, or for your opinion, or you can at any time share anything with me. If you have the feeling that you don't understand things, or you can ask anything you want, and I do always my best to really help and to solve whatever I can solve. Be it like in the group, or be it even for yourself, for your very own life. And we can do that in a, like personally, one-on-one, by talking on the phone, video chat. I don't know. I wish that you and I could become kind of like friends. Like, someone you can trust and someone you can talk to, you know, and when you feel bad, and be sure that, you know, I, Cindy, will really try my very best to help you as much as I can. And I do that also, of course, because I still have also some parts to heal. But I am now at the point, that little part which is left, I can only heal it, or I mainly will be able to heal it if I really start helping others and giving this love and this compassion and this peace which I have found for a lot of my things, to give that to others, and, you know, and to be really, really sure one day to and capable to say, and I already do feel it that way, but to close that chapter, to fully close my own traumas, to fully close these chapters and live the life I deserve, and live the life and for you to live the life you deserve. And I'll do my best. Yeah. I wish all of you a wonderful good night. And I'm not sure when I will come with the first kind of little question, because we need to start somewhere. We need to have like an understanding, okay, and we need to, I can tell you a little bit in advance, like maybe like this you have an idea already. Like the first thing will be like to really think about what are your problems, to identify them. And it is very important to identify them, because it forces you and it makes you think what is your problem and try to identify and realize them. This is very important because you need to have a base from where you start. Okay, so but I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. I'm gonna give like an example, so because it's important to not just say I have problems with relationships. Well, yeah, I have problems with relationships too. I had not with friendships, but with men I had problems. But I will give you an example. I mean, we have to make it more defined. This is really important. We have to define it very well, because the more detailed we are aware and recognizing or acknowledging or being able to identify it and name it, that's really great. But if you cannot do it, as I will try to give you an example for, and also just talk a little bit more again about the inner child and a few things, that's okay too. But just remember the think about, maybe you can already start about it and think about it, like what are your problems. Okay, so yeah, there is a kind of like a mini exercise already. And you can keep it for now, maybe just for yourself at home, write it down on a paper. I have such a crazy busy schedule. Like I said, this is gonna probably take, until we get to where we want to get, it's gonna take some weeks and probably months, because I cannot, it's gonna take months. And so, but that's cool, because we're not rushing through. We're gonna take our time and we just go with the flow. And because I don't want also like kind of like in a workshop where you go there and you're like for, I don't know, 3 weeks online workshop, and every day you have like 10 exercises to do in order for you to complete that workshop. No. This is gonna be like, we're going with the flow, we're going with life the way it is. And you know, and if someone ever feels like it's going too fast, please let me know. If it goes too slow, let me know too. But I'll do my best to do it in in like the way I can, because I also have like my responsibilities and duties, right? Just like you. So yeah. And if you ever know some people at one point, you're like, hey, this is really interesting. You should maybe, you know, a friend of yours, you know, you want to invite a friend of yours, you can do that, of course. Just then let me know who you invited to this group. So when I get a request to participate into the group, so I know where it's coming from and why. This is important is because this is a closed group. This is not an open group. And I do want to make sure that there's only people in it which really want to be there, which really want to work with their inner child, and also, of course, get all kinds of other informations too, because as you can see, I also share about essential oils, a lot of things, and this will still also be part of this group, because the essential oils they are like my holy oils, and they do a great job, and they help me and support me really from the morning till the evening, all night, everywhere everywhere in my life. I mean, there's not one place I go without my essential oils, or I have my books with me or whatever. I'm always they're always with me. Anyways, so these informations, they will also be part, and it will still be in this group. Because they are really, I should make another group actually about that, but I can't make that many groups, because then I would be like, I could quit my job and just work from home doing all of that, but not for now. So anyways, so yeah, I wish all of you a wonderful good night, and and maybe you can let me know also in the comments from that video, if you are okay with that, if you're okay with like the way I'm planning it, if you have some requests, if something you want to ask already, or something, I mean anything, leave me some notes in the comments. I'm checking every day my phone, of course, several times, so I will get these questions, comments, or whatever, and I mean that's gonna help me, and it's gonna help you too, so I can just follow also what you expect, what you want. And but I'm sure this is not the last time I'm saying that. I'm sure we're gonna I will talk with you a lot, and and that's it. Okay, good. So have a wonderful good night, everybody, and see each other soon again. Bye.